Welcome everyone, this is the Dr. Campanella Medical AI Institute, where we're going to explore medical topics, and today we're going to see, as you see in the title, so the iron deficiency will create the anemia in the body. So as we saw in the last two videos, so we're going to have the two parts of my part and the help of my partner, the artificial intelligence. So essentially, let's talking about a brief about this so common that a lot of people will have it, and it's not only to have, is that there is no symptoms until it's very marked or very, I don't know how can I say this, very important or delicate when it's talking about numbers. We're going to talk about that. So as the body doesn't have too much production of iron. Why there's not too much production of iron? Because there is no absorption of the nutrients when we eat. So that's the most important thing, is to understand that this iron deficiency is going to be made, first of all, for so many factors. The most important is for one, bad absorption of the intestine. So when we eat, the intestine doesn't have the good absorption, so the production of the hemoglobin or the red cells, we're going to have hemoglobin, but, and this is what is coming, is not going to have the enough oxygen to carry on through the arteries. So being said this, as there is not enough production of iron, so the hemoglobin, which is a chain, so the hemoglobin is the component of the hemoglobin is doing vitamin B12, is doing by folic acid, and is doing by iron. So the most common to lose is the iron one, unless you have a thalassemia, that is more because of the thing of folic acid. But now we're talking about this. So the iron, the hemoglobin is not going to have this ink too much red. It's going to be a pale and a little bit more shrinkled hemoglobin because there is not enough iron. So when they're going through the tissues, they're going to find out that they don't have too much oxygen. Remember, the hemoglobin is the one who carries on the oxygen, so there is not too much well product. So that is why it's linked to have the symptoms. So that is why the patient is more lethargic, the patient they feel more weak, the patient feel like they are like drained, the muscle is not working. No, it's not. It's like I feel heavy, like you are underwater. So when these kind of things happen, it's important to understand as a patient, okay, something is wrong, I don't want to eat, my diet is wrong. This happens a lot with the people who's not making a extreme diet, that they try to avoid food that you really needed, who are rich in iron for the body. Okay? So apart from these symptoms, so one of the therapies we do, in case, like I say, in case of the levels of iron, okay, in case of the levels of the hemoglobin, because if your hemoglobin is too low, and because the iron is too low, you need to have a reposition of blood, and you need to start to having an iron therapy. This iron therapy can be by intravenous bar or can be oral, depends on the needs, okay? But this is the medical part. But when we're going through the natural way, talking like that, or the non-medical, you need to have a diet with red meats, especially liver, the organs, liver and kidney, that both of them are good, but the liver is more. beans or roots, like for example onion, like for example beetroot. My patients take them well. It's good. There is in Latin America, there is one juice, it's called 3-in-1, which is bring orange, is bring beetroot, and is bring carrots, and that's a very good juice, which is rich in iron. Now, this doesn't have, so don't make a distinctions between age. Any kind of age you can have it. However, it's more visible in old people and young people because the diet is totally different. So the kids doesn't like to eat all the food, and when you are older, you don't like to eat all the food also. But with a good diet and taking the symptoms, because if you see your kids or your grandpa or your mother who doesn't, you see a little pale, remember the redness with us is made by the hemoglobin, which is bring by the iron. The iron is who make the red ink in your body. That's why when you touch the hand, and the people who have the anemia, you touch it, is why it's pale. When you do here and check the sclera, you will see it also pale. When they open the mouth, then you can see them pale. That is indicator of the iron deficiency. Another case, and I forget, is that women, when they have a high discharge, so a high bleeding because of the menstruation, that can also lead you to have iron deficiency for losing blood. Of course, person who have gastric issues with the bleeding, GI bleeding, or superior or inferior, is going to affect the hemoglobin and also the iron. So it just matters to look after well the symptoms. Now I'm going to lead you with my partner, the artificial intelligence, who have a nice presentation for you. He's going to talk about a lot of things that we already talked, to better explain more, and some other tips for you. So I hope this message can help you and the people who surround you. So thank you very much for watching. Subscribe, like, and comment if you want. What kind of, if you experiment, not what kind of, if you have experience with this iron deficiency anemia. Take care. Bye-bye.
Today, we're diving into a story that's happening right now inside the bodies of millions of people, and most of them don't even know it. We're talking about iron deficiency, what I'm calling a silent shortage, and it has some seriously widespread effects. So let's get into it.
All right, to kick things off, I've got a question for you. Just take a second and think about it. What do you think is the single most common nutritional deficiency on the entire planet? The answer might not be what you expect, and it's right at the heart of what we're talking about today.
You guessed it, the answer is iron. And to really get why this is such a big deal, we have to start with its #1 job, being the body's oxygen delivery service. And it does this through a crucial partnership with a molecule called hemoglobin.
So what is hemoglobin? Well, think of it like the delivery truck inside every single one of your red blood cells. Its job is to pick up oxygen from your lungs and drop it off everywhere else, your brain, your muscles, you name it. But here's the key. Iron is the essential, absolutely non-negotiable building block for that truck. No iron, no hemoglobin. The whole delivery system grinds to a halt.
So what actually happens when that key building block starts to run low? Let's zoom way in and see what this silent shortage really looks like down at the cellular level, right inside your bloodstream.
This breakdown really shows it all. On one side, you have a healthy red blood cell. It's got a normal size, a nice rich color. But then look at the iron-deficient cell. It's smaller, it's paler. But the real issue is that it's just not good at its job anymore. It becomes way less efficient at carrying oxygen, and that right there is why people feel so tired and weak.
And you know, this is the sneaky part. It doesn't just happen overnight. It's a really slow, gradual process. First, your body uses up all its backup iron stores. It's only after those are gone that your hemoglobin production starts to drop. And often, it's not until that final stage that it even shows up on a blood test. That's why so many people have no idea they're already on their way to being deficient. And our bodies are pretty smart. There's actually a hormone, a kind of master regulator, that keeps a really tight grip on iron levels to make sure it doesn't cause any damage. But when your iron stores get low, that whole system gets put under a ton of stress. It starts scrambling to hold on to every last bit of iron it can find for your most important functions.
But here's the thing. Thinking low iron just makes you tired is really missing the bigger picture. Its impact goes way beyond your blood. This little mineral is a major player in systems all across your body.
I mean, just look at this list. Iron is absolutely critical for brain development, especially for kids. It helps make the neurotransmitters we need to focus and learn. It also literally fuels your muscles and your physical performance. Oh, and it's a cornerstone of your immune system's ability to fight things off. Pretty important stuff.
Okay, so we've seen what this looks like for one person. Now let's pull the camera way back and look at the true scale of this thing. Because this is not a small niche problem. It is a massive global health challenge. Let that sink in. Not vitamin D, not calcium, iron deficiency takes the top spot as the most common nutritional shortage on the entire planet. This is something that affects people in every single country from all walks of life.
And while it can hit anyone, the numbers are clear. Some groups are definitely more vulnerable. Children and teenagers need a lot of iron to keep up with their rapid growth. Women of reproductive age also have higher needs. These are the populations where the shortage really hits the hardest. But here's where the story takes a really hopeful, positive turn. The problem is huge, yes, but our ability to find it and deal with it is getting so much smarter. Let's take a look at how technology and AI are completely changing the game when it comes to detection.
This is where it gets really cool. We've got automated analyzers in labs now that can spot those tiny, subtle changes in red blood cells long before a person would even feel symptoms. We've got AI algorithms that can crunch huge amounts of data to predict who might be at risk. There's even AI-assisted screening being developed that could spot anemia from just a picture, which could be a total game changer for remote communities.
Now, it's really important to be clear about this. All of this amazing technology is here to support healthcare professionals, not replace them. They make screening faster, research better, and education more powerful, but they are a tool in the toolbox. They don't take the place of a full checkup and conversation with your doctor.
And that really brings us to the whole point, which is summed up perfectly here. Knowledge supports awareness, awareness supports better health decisions. Just understanding what's going on in our bodies is the first and honestly the most powerful step we can take.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought. We've walked through the science, we've seen the scale of the problem, and we've gotten a peek at the future of detection. The question isn't just what is it anymore, it's now that you know all this, how will you use this knowledge for your own health and maybe for the health of the people around you? Thanks for tuning in.